lot of discussions and deliberations are taking place across the globe on the issue of global warming and its long-term consequences on climate changes. Global warming is a phenomenon of disastrous consequences. From the last 2-3 decades, the entire world has been talking about global warming, but global effort to check this phenomenon is still preliminary and inadequate. Greater evaporation, untimely melting of ice caps, sea level changes, coastal inundation, etc. have been reported. As revealed by US satellite, 125 Siberian lakes have been disappeared and 2 large lakes have shrunk. The chain of events caused by global warming has impact on world economy, and the developing countries like India are worst affected. So let us know what actually the meaning of greenhouse effect. Earth absorbs incoming solar radiation and then tries to cool by emitting long wavelength infrared radiation. The radiation is absorbed by greenhouse gases and hence they cannot escape. The net effect should be to increase mean annual temperature. Some of the important greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, that is burning of carbon based fuels, methane, anaerobic bacteria in rice field, cows, sewage which constitute 4 to 9%, nitrous oxide, that is fossil fuel and fertilizers, chlorofluorocarbons otherwise called CFCs due to refrigeration and spray cans, and ozone O3 which constitute 3 to 7%. Greenhouse gases are absorbed by infrared radiation, which in turn much of the energy is re-radiated to the surface and lower temperature. The mechanism is named after the effect of solar radiation passing through glass and warming a greenhouse. In greenhouse, it retains heat and fundamentally by reducing airflow, isolating the warm air inside the structure so that it is not lost by convection. Joseph Fourier, who is a pioneer, a French mathematician, discovered the greenhouse effect in 1824, first reliably experimented on by Irish physicist John Tyndall in 1858 and first reported quantitatively by Swedish scientist Steve Arrhenius in 1896. In the atmospheric greenhouse effect, sunlight encounters forests, grasslands, ocean surfaces, ice caps, deserts and cities all absorb, reflect and radiate radiation differently. Sunlight falling on a white glacier strongly reflect back into the space, resulting in minimal heating of surface and lower temperature. Sunlight falling on a desert soil is strongly absorbed and contributes significantly the heating of the surface and lower atmosphere. Cloud cover also affects greenhouse warming by which reducing the amount of solar energy reaching the Earth's surface and by reducing the amount of radiation energy emitted into space. Real greenhouses. Greenhouses effect are named analogy to greenhouse. The major difference between greenhouse effect and greenhouses is that the heat retained are different and both limit the rate of thermal energy flowing out of the system. Through convection, that is sensible heat support, the absorbed heat is not allowed to leave the greenhouse. Greenhouse gases absorb the outgoing radiative energy and greenhouse gases affect the heat of Earth and re-emit some of it back towards Earth. The greenhouse is built by means of glass or plastic which allows the sunlight to pass through it. Primarily, the sunlight heats the ground surface inside, which then warms the air in the greenhouse. The air within the greenhouse continues to heat since it is confined within the greenhouse, and in the atmosphere, warm air near the surface rises and mixes with the cool air aloft. This can be demonstrated by opening a small window near roof of greenhouse. The temperature will drop considerably. Thus, greenhouse work primarily by preventing convective cooling. In the greenhouse effect, rather than retaining heat by physically preventing the movement of the air, greenhouse gases act to warm the earth by re-radiating some of the energy back towards the surface.